It was April 2021, and I realized that I was a failure. This is quite a hard video for me to make because I never really wanted to admit that I was a failure, but I was at that point in time. See, I started a digital marketing course in December 2020, and one of the first things you've got to do is get 3 practice clients on board. People that you don't charge them any money for your services, but you use their money for advertising their business, which sounds like a great deal. So they were expected to give me about 3,000 Rand a month, which I would spend purely on advertising for their business and charge nothing for my own service. And I set off doing this, and it was during this period I'm still studying, and it really was an intense course, with lots of assignments and deadlines and things like that. I'd applied everything I'd learned to creating good adverts for these 3 businesses. One was a beautician, one was a safety gear business, and the final one was Custom Covers, who made covers for outdoor furniture and belongings. Within a couple of months, 2 out of the 3 businesses, I kind of got weary of spending 3,000 Rand a month advertising with little or no return. In fact, probably more no return. It was horrible for me because I was spending their money at a time, and you know the lockdown was round about that period, at a time where they could ill afford it. I was absorbing 3,000 Rand a month, which in a small business's world accumulates to a lot of money over a period of time. And 2 out of the 3 businesses kind of dumped me. So my service was worth so little that I was kind of dropped by the wayside. And to be fair, I kind of dumped myself in a way. I felt that I wasn't giving them value, and as a result, I was reluctant to spend their money, except for one, and that was Custom Covers. Custom Covers, the section of Custom Covers here in KwaZulu-Natal is run by Carl Dornbrack. And he has kind of become a friend of mine. In fact, he is a friend of mine. If you're out there, Carl, you're a friend of mine. He persevered. I think he got limited success from my advertising, but it was always difficult to tell what was my advertising and what was normal traffic, because Carl worked specifically with WhatsApp. So a lot of the customers that came from me to him went direct via WhatsApp and not through the normal channels of a funnel, which would enable us to track where they came from. So Carl persevered, and every month he'd phone me up and he'd say, well, you know, I've just got a bill for 3,000 Rand from Facebook. Does that sound about right to you? And I said, yeah, it does, Carl. And he'd say, no, it's fine. He would say, you just keep doing what you're doing. And I did, but I feel so guilty. It was a horrible admission. I really didn't feel I was adding value to his business. But he was willing to persevere, and the reason he was willing to persevere is because he believed in me. He saw the adverts that I was putting out, and he could see that they were very creative, and he liked them. And he liked being associated with that, so he persevered. And we did keep going and keep going and keep going. And we kept failing and kept failing. Now, how long do you fail for before you throw in the towel? You know, it's the mark of every business that you need to fail a lot before you succeed. What are we in April 2022? And last month for the first time since perhaps February 2021, I felt that I added value. And it's an incredible feeling because I changed a few things. I was working on my creative, and then I turned my attention to the stats, and the stats were glowing in terms of how many people referred to my funnel. And I had a lot of people referred to my funnel, a lot of people clicked on my funnel, but I wasn't getting a push through. And I was kind of disappointed in Facebook. Finally it dawned on me that actually it wasn't the fault of Facebook at all. It was the fault of my funnel. People were going to my funnel. People were looking at it, getting confused, and leaving it without making a conversion. I made some changes to my funnel. I simplified it completely. It basically was just a headline with a form. And suddenly, I started getting emails, notifications that people had filled in a form on my funnel. So you see, the sort of moral of this story is that digital marketing it's an experience, and there's, in my mind, no way that a businessman has time to run his business and do his digital marketing. Also, expect failure in the beginning. That's normal. Until everything settles down and you find your rhythm with digital marketing, you will fail. And eventually you will find the formula that works for your particular business, which is where I am now with Carl and custom covers. I'm eternally grateful to Carl for persevering with me, and I feel that now I must repay him, and I will. Yeah, the point is that if you're going to go into digital marketing, don't expect results. If you get results, happy days, but don't expect results, because digital marketing fails until it succeeds. And once you've succeeded, it starts to get exciting. Why would it be exciting? Well, now that I have a funnel that works, I can create a split funnel. So two identical funnels, change one thing in one funnel, one thing in the other, leave everything the same in the other. And it might be a headline, or it might be a color, or an image. I can change one thing and then launch it side by side and see which one converts the best. And then all you got to do is monitor that and just discard the one that hasn't worked the best, keep the one that has worked the best, move that across, and put in another split test with another little change to see if you can tweak it more. And by doing that, first of all, you're going to get a certain amount of clicks through, because historically you have, and you'll be able to fine-tune your funnel until it's at its most optimum, and even then you probably won't stop fine-tuning. The other thing about that process is you learn about things like retargeting and lookalike audiences and things like that. So you end up with a little bit of a strategy. So your first thing is traffic. You need to get traffic to that funnel. Once you've got traffic to that funnel and people have been to that funnel and haven't filled in the form, you then need to retarget them. And then once you've retargeted them, you need to look at a lookalike audience. So the people that have been to my website, to my funnel, I want people who look exactly like that to be targeting my next advert. So you actually dig deeper, and your audience gets bigger and more warm, so that they are the right people that you're reaching, and eventually you'll end up with a terrific system. But don't expect it to happen overnight. My parting words: digital marketing fails until it succeeds.